Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So Jesse Rodriguez not only beats, but he beats down Sor Rungvisai en route to an 8th round stoppage to defend his WBC super flyweight title. He's the youngest champion in boxing at 22 years old. And the fact that he can put on a performance like that at this age, when he's still only going to get better, is scary for the rest of the division and the divisions around super flyweight. To me, this was one of the best performances in which I've seen this year from any fighter. Now, it has to be said that Rungvisai isn't the fighter he once was a few years ago, but he is a grizzled veteran, very experienced with serious punching power. So, even now, Rungvisai is somewhat of a threat due to that. And, going into this fight, I think most people saw it as a harder fight than Rodriguez's previous fight against Carlos Cuadras. However, this was dare I say, a star-making performance by Jesse Rodriguez. To me, it was as close to perfect as you can get. And I know this sounds super hyperbolic, but I've seen enough from Jesse Rodriguez. I think this kid might be the most talented fighter in America right now. I think he is that good. And you can tell in his style that he's a student of the game. You can see in his style that he watches certain fighters. Like, for example, I think it's clear to see the Lomachenko influence in his style. The way he'll step to the side, create an angle for himself super quickly. He'll punch, step to the side, punch again. The guy's got unbelievable talent, great punch variety, decent speed, decent power, lovely footwork. Considering how he fights and how, he throws a lot of punches, but he maintains good defense with a good guard, good head movement. A lovely jab, lovely 1-2 out of that southpaw stance. His straight punches have no tell on them whatsoever, not telegraphed at all. And when he gets going through his combinations, they are a joy to watch, in my opinion. And yeah, I expected Rodriguez to win this fight and win this fight well, but I felt he would have problems en route to a decision. I didn't expect him to stop Rungvisai, so naturally I'm very impressed. And yeah, Jesse Rodriguez started this fight pretty well. Sor Rungvisai was trying to apply pressure in the first round, loading up with his own southpaw overhand left. And, Jesse was doing a good job of catching it on the guard and defending well. A couple of clubbing shots got through, but for the most part, Rodriguez showed pretty good defense in round one, and he was countering effectively with his own southpaw straight left hand. And towards the end of the round, he landed a 1-2, followed by a southpaw right hook, which really kind of put Rungvisai in his place. Some really nice shot selection at the end of round one for Jesse Rodriguez. Round two, actually, I felt Rungvisai had some good success in round two. I felt Rodriguez landed the more eye-catching, cleaner shots, and probably landed more shots, to be honest. But Rungvisai really upped that pressure. You know how Rungvisai fights. He's got that languid kind of style where he'll come forwards and really swing his big shots. And he got a few shots through in round two. And I wondered whether Rodriguez would have to see out the storm for a few rounds. But that wasn't the case. After round two, Rodriguez really got back on his boxing. And unlike one good adjustment he made in this fight, one complaint I think you can have with his performance against Carlos Cuadras, although he was very good, he stayed in the pocket a little too long and got caught a little too much. In this fight, he wasn't doing that. He was getting his shots off, not staying in the pocket too long. He would spin out, create a new angle for himself, and start punching again, or completely just get out of the pocket and make Rungvisai reset. Very disciplined by Jesse Rodriguez, and that followed suit for rounds 3, 4, 5, and 6. Though round 6 onwards, there was a noticeable change in the type of fight it was. At this point in time, I felt that Rodriguez realised that Rungvisai was starting to fade, and the power in his shots was starting to dwindle. And at this point, Jesse Rodriguez started to get more aggressive. He was staying in the pocket a little bit longer. He was landing some really good body shots, and at times he was actually pushing Sor Rungvisai back, which isn't an easy task. Again, Rungvisai would come back with some shots here and there, clubbing overhands, a couple of body shots, but nothing too serious. And yeah, round 7 and 8, Rungvisai got beat up, quite frankly. He was dropped in round 7 with a check left hook, I believe it was. It might have been a right hook, I forget. But he dropped Rungvisai in round 7, finished the round really strong. And in round 8, I mean, he just unloaded on Rungvisai and landed a series of shots from body to head. The right hook out of that southpaw stance was so effective. He was showing, he was doing his best Lomachenko impression, where he would step around the target while punching, creating new angles for himself. And Rungvisai really couldn't defend himself. And yeah, I mean, referee jumps in, waves it off in round 8. Rungvisai wanted to continue, but he was starting to get beaten up and it was starting to get a little ugly, and you could tell that Rungvisai was getting even slower. His shots were getting slower. They weren't having as much, they didn't have as much power in them. And yeah, I felt the referee made the right call in stopping this fight, and quite frankly, it was a remarkable performance from a young man in Jesse Rodriguez, 22 years old. This guy's only going to get better if he keeps his head screwed on his shoulders. And yeah, he's got a very exciting style. He's got really good punch technique. He can throw every single shot in the book. Short shots, long shots, counter shots, body shots. Really good punch variety. He can counter, he can box, he can fight on the inside. He's got a bit of power, he's got a bit of speed. Good footwork, well, really good footwork. The guy, looking at his style, looking at his last few fights, I can't really see a weakness in Jesse Rodriguez. Inexperience is really the only thing, but that's going to come with time. The guy is very good, and honestly, I see him as a pound-for-pound level talent. If somebody put him top 10 right now, I wouldn't actually complain. I personally think he's got a bit more to do before he gets that accolade. He's coming off 2 really good wins over Quadras and Rungvisai, but those guys were past their best, that has to be said. But in terms of pure talent, I really do believe he's a pound-for-pound fighter in the making. I think he's that good. So yeah, I really enjoyed that performance by Jesse Rodriguez, and of course he defends that WBC super flyweight title. Now, where does he go from here? I mean, he's got a lot of great fights available to him. I mean, he and his coach have said that he can also go down to flyweight, but at super flyweight, I mean, I'd love to see Jesse Rodriguez versus Kazuta Ioka, Donny Nietes, Fernando Daniel Martinez, who's got the IBF title, I believe, and even Roman Gonzalez. That would be a great fight. And if you look at flyweight, if you look at the flyweight division, Sonny Edwards would be interesting. I think he'll beat Sonny Edwards, to be honest. Artem Delakian, I think he would destroy Delakian. At flyweight, I think Junto Nakatani would be his hardest fight, and that would be a great fight, by the way. So if you look at Jesse Rodriguez, flyweight to super flyweight, there's a lot of very good fights out there for him. There's so many great options, and I like the fact that after the Quadras fight, he jumped right into the Rungvisai fight. Again, I know Rungvisai's not what he was a few years ago, but he's still a tough dude. He's dangerous. He hits hard, and for a 22-year-old, it's a great name to have on your resume. So Jesse Rodriguez right now is doing and saying all the right things. He seems to be a real fighter, and I think he's remarkably talented. I really do. I think he could be the best fighter in America. Uber talented with a great style. I'm hooked on his career now. I wonder where he's going to go next, but regardless of who it is, I will watch. Anyway, share your thoughts below. It's been your guy Delboy. Peace.